today's subject at hand. I just recently got the game set in hand, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Now I'm here to talk about it today in terms of, well, just wanting to ramble on about it for a couple minutes of your time. So, a lot of folks have a 3DS nowadays. A lot of folks. By a lot, I mean probably a lot. A number I cannot put as a digit format in my mouth. It cannot exceed the expectations of your earlobes to have the correct information. So unfortunately, I get to say a lot of people. And most of them have the system, but probably not 100% of the time ever really use it. They bought it originally because of one game in particular. They went through that game, just clobbered it to death, and that's it. They haven't really found any games that were interesting to them. Now, this is not a necessary sales pitch to those folks, but if they want to play a game on their 3DS, this is more of a suggestion than anything else. So, okay, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate came out for the Nintendo 3DS, the 13th, I believe it was, of February, and basically, it's been sold out for a little while. It had just been overwhelmingly popular. It's just been selling out. Either Capcom decided to hold back a few copies anyway, just to make it seem like, oh, we had so many limited production because we didn't assume, cheeky face, that they basically were going to buy all of our product. Capcom, you underwhelmed the Monster Hunter fan base. So, basically, it sold out for a while, and a lot of people couldn't buy it for a couple moments. Then they just recently put out more copies, or from their factories at least, put out more copies to the said stores locally. And I did not realize this actually when it first happened. Like, I was sitting here, like, okay, I'll get the game after when I get some money, which I did. I got some money, so then I was able to buy the said game. Now, out of the box, it's the standard edition. It's, as I drop it on the floor, as I basically look at it, it's a standard edition. It's just nothing fancy-spancy about it. Pretty bland side art on the casing here. It's your typical 3DS casing. Really cool, badass-looking gore on the front cover here, which is this darkness-based Warven, or dragon, or whatever you wish to call it. And it just, again, really badass introduction when you start up the game. It just loads up really smooth. Frame rates are fantastic. There's barely any load time. It just pops right in. You play it. Been going through the single player campaign, and my friend, while I was on Ventrilo, was insisting I had to play with him for sure. So I let him know. I was like, no, I want to play the single player. So that's what I was doing for a while. At least wanted to get my head, back into playing Monster Hunter on a handheld, because I've not played it for a while. I mean in a while. I've played it on the Wii, and it's just sort of like, okay, I'm playing on the Wii. I'm spoiled now because I got this controller access, the classic Pro controller there, which was of the black model that came with the said bundle with the Monster Hunter, which, oh my god, that was just such a fantastic controller. Fantastic, at least for Monster Hunter. So, worked really well. It just felt really great in the hands, and so therefore I was able to play on a big screen. I was just really happy. It was a fantastic game. So at that point on, I played for a while, long while, at least 375 hours plus clocked into that game, and I just stopped. That was it, cold turkey. I was just done. So then, I would say a month and a half later, they decided they wanted to discontinue the servers or some crap like that, and then the 3DS version came out. The 3DS version of Monster Hunter Tri came out, and then basically it became a whole fiasco of, oh, well, it's local, but if you have a Wii U and the application, you can play this online. Cheeky face. So, basically, they were saying get paid, I think it was like $300 at the time for the Wii U, because there was inflation with the whole eBay flippers. Shame on those little pieces of shit. Anyway, so you kind of have to go with that whole fiasco of either you buy the system, be able to connect online with the application for Monster Hunter and play it on your handheld, or you're shit out of luck. Or you could have bought the Wii U version, which again, to me is sort of silly. It's like, if you have the Wii U in the first place, why the hell would you even want to play it on the 3DS? You would just play on the Wii U. It'd make 110% more sense than just playing it on a handheld. I mean, I don't take my 3DS out to go play Monster Hunter. I stay in my house and play Monster Hunter. So, again, that's just how it is. I don't go out and hang out with buddies and go, hey, I want to go play some Monster Hunter. No, I don't even have any friends barely in real life. So it's like, why the hell would I want to take it out and play Monster Hunter? I want to sit at my comfort of my own house, kick my feet up, and play some Monster Hunter. That's just how I feel about the said game. So, finally, Capcom decided, hey, it would be a great idea if we finally add that, that thing that originally Super Street Fighter 4 had in their game, or add our MT Framework mobile online, or in this case Wi-Fi based application embedded into the game so you can play online with friends and folks online. Which, to me so far, at least with that, it just works really well. There's light hiccups here and there, but it works really well. I mean, what I mean by hiccups, meaning the enemy teleports, and this is just latency, this is just how that is. But it's been happening since the PSP days of the game, so it's sort of like I can't hold it against it. You know what? Just to be able to play a game online with somebody, I'm still kind of happy about that fact, especially with Monster Hunter. It's just a game you want to play online with folks. Because it just feels a lot more fun to play Monster Hunter online with other people than playing it by yourself. I mean, I like playing it alone sometimes, but it gets boring really quick for me. Like, I cannot sit there and play a game by myself. Especially, like, at least Monster Hunter, that terms of Monster Hunter. Let me clarify that. It's just, like, at least with Monster Hunter, a game like this that has the capabilities to play with three other people, that I want to have that. I just want to have that element of being able to play with those other people. That's just generally my thesis on that. That's all there is to that at the length and leisure of my said vocal cords ejaculating words. So, what do I completely think of the game? It is practically the calling of every single Monster Hunter fan's wet dream. It has a lot more to it. It just provides something that a lot of the fans were wanting, requesting, little bits and pieces I can notice here and there. Like, for example, a lot more of the storage chests are placed throughout a lot more of the areas than normal, which is great. I mean, this is not, of course, the exploration mode, which I'll get into that in a moment, but just more lines inside the town, so it's like you don't have to go all the way back to your room and go all the way back. No, you can just go up to a spot, grab your stuff, build your stuff inside the chest, which is great, and then you can go off and do your questing or do your hunting. And it just, such a refreshing feel to it. It just feels it feels like a new game, but yet it's not. It feels like like you've played it before, but not in a bad way. It's like a familiar blanket that you usually use to snuggle up with if you're cold. So, the exploration mode, as I was going before about, is sort of like a roguelike element to it. Very faint. It randomly generates terrain and enemies appear accordingly. So you could deal with like a great Jaggy or whatever else, they pop up eventually and you fight them. And you just keep on fighting and you just keep on fighting. Now this is for local player and multiplayer, so you can connect online that way. The multiplayer at first wasn't very specific, or at least I did not notice the instructions for this in multiplayer, I think. So, yeah, it was just sort of confusing. Like, okay, this internet's not working correctly. Then you have to go into the map and toggle it and turn it on and all that stuff. But, yeah, it's generally... It's generally a very workable thing, and I think I really, really, really enjoy the exploration mode the most, because once you unlock more enemies, they get stronger as you beat them, and so therefore you get into G-rank monsters and get better carves, better drops, and get loot. You can get just better gear to become a better Monster Hunter character. So, again, it just exceeds my expectations, at least my opinion of the game, because at first it was just sort of like, okay, it was just another Monster Hunter game, they added a couple extra monsters. No, I was dead wrong. It added a lot more to it just for such a compact game, and it's just filled with content to do. So if you want something to do, it will give you something to do. There's no underline about that factor. So would I recommend picking it up? Absolutely, because I'm obviously praising it. I mean, if you want something to play on your Nintendo 3DS and you have not had anything to play with it probably since you got the damn thing, or if you got a new 3DS, got one game and you have nothing else to play, then pick this game up. It has online connectivity, so you can play online with other people. Being advised, they made yourself a me on the 3DS. Once you do that, you give them your friends your friend code, and then you can connect with them that way. Then you can go to their lobby or their guild hall, as they call it, and you can just play online with your friends and build up your character and become better and stronger and faster, and you can thrust your hips in the air and just ejaculate awesome. I mean, if you can ejaculate awesome, that means you've achieved great things. I have yet to ejaculate awesome from this game because I have not yet fully upgraded my character's gear 110%. I'm still working on that, which tells you one thing. If I'm still working on something, I'm still working towards it. That means by the time I get to that achievement, it just feels accomplishments up the ass. Like, it just feels like eventually I'm going to get that ejaculation, but I still need to work on it. This turned south really quickly. I noticed that and I realized that. So, again, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this podcast, or this vidcast, technically what it is. And if you're interested in more, be sure to check out more on my channel and subscribe as, well, usual. Anyway, take it easy, touch my nipples, and see you later.